Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is my good friend Rafi Farber from the Endgame Investor. Welcome back, Rafi.
Hey, Ivan, good to be back. How are you?
I'm doing really good. It's such a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Silver and join us today. I wanted to get you on to talk about everything happening in the world, the crazy markets, silver and gold. Let's start off with silver and gold. If you told someone 6, 7 months ago that gold would be 2,500, they would be shocked and kind of laugh at you a bit, but we're there now. $2,500 gold. Where do you see gold going now for the next, let's say to the end of 2024 now?
The end of 2024, it really depends on how much longer the spit that's keeping together what's left of the monetary system can maintain gooiness. Because there's a, I don't know, yeah, we spoke a few minutes before. I'm losing my vocabulary. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just the time of night, but there's a loogie holding everything together. Is it going to be dissolved? And what I mean is I don't see it in terms of we're gonna reach 3,000 by this month and then we're gonna reach 4,000 by 3 months after that. I see it like the monetary system is gonna fall apart and then gold is gonna suddenly just shoot up to I don't know 10, 15, 20,000, something like that. It could be even more than that. It
Yeah.
depends. It depends how much faith is lost, how quickly, and that can happen once just like we saw in 2019, when there was a lockup in the monetary plumbing system. We could see that happen again, and then they'll have to print what last time it was like 4 or 5 trillion. So this time it'll be 10 trillion, 15 trillion, something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't take a hard position on whether or not the whole mysterious illness thing that we had in 2020 was a result of the Fed had to print a certain amount of money, therefore this thing was invented. I don't know.
Right.
It's possible. But to me, it doesn't really matter one way or another. They had to print money, so they did it. And this next printing on is going to have to be faster and harder than that one.
Yeah.
So look, at some point, gold is just going to rocket up to uh to 15, 20, $25,000 in a matter of weeks, because that's what always happens at the end of a monetary system. Whenever a currency does that, it does that all the time.
Hmm.
So the question is, are we there or not? And if we're not there, we'll gradually keep going higher and higher and higher, like we always do. I don't think we're going to have another period of like 3 or 4 years of a bear market like we did in 2011 to 2015, because I think we've already wrung out the last vestiges of stability.
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used. Is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use. So instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
In this current fiat system. So either we're going to stair step higher, or we're just going to zoom up to the end game where that means that 100% of the Fed's liability is backed by whatever gold is on its balance sheet. So that number in 1980, it was $650. We hit that,
Right.
and now it would be about $30,000. If we go there, we're not going to stay there. It would probably go back to like it could get really crazy, like from 30,000 then back down to 15,000. Gold could start trading like Bitcoin in that sense. But then the difference in gold and Bitcoin, or gold and silver and Bitcoin, would be Bitcoin can go all the way crazy from a million to zero, whereas gold could rocket up to like say 20, 30,000 and then settle down at like somewhere like 10, 12, 15 and then stay
Right.
there.
Yeah, yeah, because of the value it has, and you absolutely nailed it, Rafi. And you're look, the only thing that I think about your while you were speaking is like, what happened in the Roman times when their, society was falling apart. I wonder what happened to gold if it just shot up to, incredible amounts, and what would be the similarities from now to the Roman times,
Yeah, it did, and there are still hordes that were digging up here in Israel. We find hordes of silver coins every few months.
Wow.
From it was just a few months ago. I forgot what there was some rebellion of the Jews versus the Eastern Roman Empire, and there was a silver hoard of a few like 80 or 90 coins or something like that. But
Uh-huh.
it's all over the place here, so that's what people do. And instead of seeing it in terms of gold rising in value, you take the mirror image of that, what's actually going on. It's not that all of a sudden gold has all this value. It's like people had these debased coins and they
Right.
weren't working and things were getting more and more expensive, and then the market just stopped accepting them. And so everyone who thought they had money or money like things like little circles of metal and they thought it was money, suddenly it wasn't. And
Right.
then all the people that had that purchasing power no longer have it. So the purchasing power doesn't get disappeared. It moves to the people with real money. So the same thing's going to happen with the people with fiat, whether it's a digital thing on your screen, you see a certain dollar amount in your bank account or your brokerage account, or you have a certain amount of paper dollars, Canadian dollars, American dollars, whatever in your wallet or buried in a safe somewhere, and you
Right.
think and you imagine that it has a certain amount of purchasing power, all of a sudden it doesn't, and you're not the only one whose purchasing power is suddenly erased. But where does it go? It has to go to somebody with real money. So
Right.
the purchasing power gets concentrated in that. And the reason that silver is really the bell ringing, because when silver makes a moonshot, what it's saying is that most people don't have any gold, or they have 1 or 2 ounces or something. Most people have some amount of silver. They have silverware, they have candlesticks, they have whatever jewelry in their house, and it's a fair amount. It's a healthy amount, much more than they have gold. So when silver really makes the moonshot, it's really saying like all the gold derivatives that are the fiat currencies of the world are no longer trusted. And if people don't have any gold, then they'll have to go to silver, and that's when silver becomes money again. That's really the end stage. That's the last stage of the end game. Once silver goes to
Yeah.
15 to 1, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, it's inevitable. I think it's inevitable if it happens now, 10 years, 50 years. I think like what's your best advice to, let's say, someone who's new to silver and gold or new to the end game investor in Wall Street Silver and wants to save their financial future? What would be your best advice for them, Rafi?
My my best advice is, look, if you understand logically what is going on, if you understand the fact that gold is money and silver is money, then just have some money, right? Don't have things that people say is money or promises for money. Dollars and other fiat derivatives of dollars, stocks, bonds, whatever, they're all promises for money.
Right.
So, keep your portfolio. Don't do anything drastic. Just take a certain amount of your salary or your savings or whatever, and just get some real money, because it's all the purchasing power is eventually going to fall there at the end. You don't have to worry about whether it's going to be a year or 10 years. It's not. I don't think it's going to be 10 years. I think it's going to be a few months from now. But
Wow.
you could disagree with me on that. I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again, but from what I'm seeing, it's going to be a few months from now.
Wow.
So just, there's nothing new under the sun. Gold and silver are money. They always have been money. They always will be money, because they are the most liquid commodity. That's not going to change, and that hasn't changed. So just get 2, 3, 4% of your net wealth. That's enough. That's all you need, really.
Yeah, yeah. As long as they have like a small location allocation into silver and gold. After you have your physical silver and gold, what would you recommend to people? Do you invest like in mining companies, production companies, or do you do stock market, other investments other than silver and gold?
Yeah, I do mining stocks. And you have to, there's some problems with those. Not in terms of like which company or what, some, of course, like in every sector of anything, some companies are good, some companies are bad. But
Right.
beyond that, you have the issue of possibly the great taking, where the government could just take your brokerage account and say it's mine now, or they could nationalize mines. This is all possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but these are things that you have to think about. Other things you could do is, there's other like food companies, Cisco, those sorts of those sorts of distribution companies, or fertilizer, basic materials. It's not just gold and silver that's going to retain value. Basic materials to grow food.
Yeah.
Companies that handle that, they're going to be in need because people are still going to need to eat food. So some of that should be okay. I don't really concentrate in that. I'm not an expert in that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
that's the kind of area you want to look in.
Yeah, yeah, more like fertilizers or anything production food, wheat, or any type of livestock, silver, gold. Of course, I think that's one way to protect yourself because eventually, even now, like if the I'm surprised it took this long for people to realize that the money that they're using is just it's just not real, right?
Yeah, and you can see it reflected in the politics of the day. They just keep getting more insane by the month,
Yeah.
by the week. Like nothing makes any sense no matter what side you're on. It's really a mess. We were just talking about Canada. It's becoming a scary place.
Yeah.
Even the United States is becoming scary. If Kamala's elected, who knows if you're going to be arrested for tweeting something or for saying something. It's in Brazil you can't say things anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
it's insane.
it's getting scary, and as our monetary unit dies, as the gold and silver derivative that we use dies, politics just keep getting more insane because the politicians are having their last grasp at power. And I'm not saying it's a conscious thing that, oh, Kamala or Trump or whatever realize that the end is nigh, so that they have to grab for whatever they can. It's more of a natural process. When they
Yeah.
start losing power, they start grabbing whatever is there, and taking whatever is left of our liberties and freedoms, and that's
Yeah.
just how things go.
Yeah, no, it's getting crazy. Well, Rafi, I want to thank you so much for coming down to Wall Street Silver. Where can people connect with you? And yeah, where can people, I'll put it all in the description below.
Yeah, check out my Substack, endgameinvestor.substack.com. I have some like good philosophical treatises there. So if you
Nice.
don't really understand what's going on, you want to have like just a good analogy, a good grasp of what really money is and the inverted pyramid that we live in. Check out Endgame Investor. Check out the free articles there. And if you want to become a paid subscriber, you can check my 3 times a week commentary on the money markets and the banking system and the interplay of gold and silver with that. Or you can check out my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Rafi Farber, and I try to make my videos fun.
Fantastic. Well, I put all the links in the description below. And again, thank you so much, Rafi, for coming down to Wall Street Silver. And again, as always, love to have you back on.
Thanks, Ivan.
Awesome. Talk to you soon.